Hello, this is Albert here for round 3 of the Legacy League on February 26th. I am on the draw. Let's see what I open up with. Alright, so we've got two colors in the form of Badlands, Flooded Strand, which gets our blue, and do have Doomsday in hand, but having ideas inbound is kind of a strange one. We don't know how we feel about it yet, but having top access is top and ponder. It's always great, so I keep it. He leads off with an underground sea, does nothing. On the off chance he's some sort of Delver list, I choose to play Stranded Pass just to kind of play around Wasteland. I think going Badlands into top just means, Spell Pierce Wasteland is just an awful combination for us, so we're just going to see what he does. Sure enough, he's on Delver. The fact that he has held up a Delta means trouble. Stifle is never fun. Unless if you're playing it yourself. Anyway. So, yeah, we have no choice really here. We kind of have to develop our mana base, so we go ahead and play the Badlands. Play the Petals so we could play around Pierce. Not Stifle, but we're going to go ahead and try to resolve this top here. Sure enough, it's good. Let's see here. What does he reveal? He reveals a Brainstorm, which is, it's Brainstorm. What are we going to do? Goes ahead and casts it. Which is always nice for us, because that makes our discard spells more potent. So that was one less thing to kind of worry about. I'm going to get hit for 3. We're going to go ahead and try to look at some cards. It does resolve. We're going to get a basic island. Reason being, if he wastes our Badlands, at least we have the island, as well as the petal for black mana if we are going to have to spend it. But we're going to go ahead and spend. We see Cabal Therapy and 2 more Doomsdays. So against the blue deck, it's not the worst to reserve extra Doomsdays, because if they counter the first, that means you have another shot at the second. But we're not really in a position to be able to just slam a Doomsday and use it as an awful form of duress. But I think we're most definitely going to keep the therapy here. And we're going to go ahead and ponder. See that we find an LED. It's really tempting here, because the next turn, if I therapy, seeing that he has nothing, I do have the win? I do have the win, because while Ideas Unbound is in our hand, we can crack the Lion's Eye Diamond while the Doomsday is on the stack, so that we can put the Ideas Unbound in the graveyard and then back in the deck once we're searching for Doomsday. So we do, despite the awful dead Doomsdays that we're going to have, I'm going to keep the diamond. It is not the worst, because I do have an available spin with top, so we're going to draw the diamond and say go. Oh, I guess we do. My rationale here is that if we see nothing, we're just going to go ahead and win the game, because the longer this game lasts, the worse it is for us. We're going to name Force of Will, and we're going to see that he has held 2 Stifles, and he hasn't really used it for my land, so I'm kind of surprised. Spell Snare is really annoying here, because we have both Ideas Unbound and a Burning Wish. So, kind of glad we spent this turn doing this. At least we get a card, and we're just going to pass turn and see what he does. He didn't like the cards on top. And yet again, he's going to use the Brainstorm, and that's just one less Brainstorm we're going to worry about. We're going to spin top on upkeep, seeing that we have a Bloodstained Mire, which we're pretty happy in seeing. It does get rid of a Stifle, and so that would be one less to worry about. A foreseeable line here is to somehow find extra mana, bait out some counter magic with Doomsday, and then kill him naturally with Burning Wish, since at that point, hopefully, the critical mass of spells would be enough. So we're going to put the Bloodstained Mire on top, play land, and say go. At this point, we're at 13 life. We're clenching a little bit, but that's okay. So basically, the fact that he's pondering here is kind of a relief to us. That's one less card that we know, or that we know is eliminated from his hand. And also, this means that he only has one, just one card he could play between Spell Snare and Stifle, unless if he draws another land. We're gonna see what he does. Ponders, and he does indeed have another land. So I'm back to worrying about the combination of Stifle, Spell, Snare. So we're going to spin top here, see what goes on. We see another land. And at this point, that's not the worst. I'm basically going to, out of desperation, cast both Burning Wish and Ideas Unbound on the same turn to bait out whatever he has. So I'm going to put the land on top, and I'm going to fetch on his upkeep. If he stifles that, at least I'll get the volcanic island. If he doesn't, then that's okay. We get a peek at a fresh card in our library. So we're going to put the volcanic on top. Fetch on upkeep. And he does not stifle, which is really interesting. I think he wants to reserve a snare and a stifle for the ultimate, the tendrils, I guess. So he lets the fetch resolve, which means we're not getting the volcanic island. But again, I think seeing another card ponder is not the worst. And this ponder is insane. We see a lot of good stuff. We see probe, LED, pedal. And so from here, we are pretty well set up to try the line where we Burning Wish into we try to bait him out with Doomsday and then do some things and then Burning Wish, LED tendrils. But despite the biz that we get, we can't really do anything. We're gonna rewind to that probe here. We're gonna cast it, see that he pondered and sorry guys. Rewinded quite a bit. Okay, we're gonna ponder. Alright, so we're going to see that he drew another Stifle. So the fact that he wasn't casting them was a little confusing, but that's okay. We're going to draw into our Lion's Eye Diamond. And we're not going to go for it, because if I Dark Ritual Doomsday and he stifles my top activation or something, I'm going to try to, say, Burning Wish into other stuff. But that would require cracking my LEDs. And on hindsight, there might have been a way to get past that. If I Dark Ritual Doomsday and then try to draw with top and he stifles that. That just wasn't worth it to me because I would still be trying to kill him with Storm or something that would require a top draw. And Stifle just gets in the way. Just 3 Stifles was way too much. So at this point, I think my plan was just to, kind of wait it out. Maybe see if we could Burning Wish for a Cabal Therapy, naming Stifle, and just going from there. And so I do pass turn. He draws, casts a Deathrite, which means, again, he's back onto the 2 spell plan. Go down to 4, which is really uncomfortable. I spin the top. I'm super dead if I don't do anything. Luckily, we do see a Duress. So from here, and a Burning Wish, which is extremely vital because that means our initial Burning Wish can go to finding the Cabal Therapy. So I'm going to draw the Duress, and on my turn, I'm going to Dark Ritual and Duress him, taking the Spell Snare, and then using the remainder mana to Burning Wish into Therapy, taking 3 of his Stifles, and then from there, comboing off. So, Dark Ritual resolves. Okay, from here, knowing that I have the Burning Wish on top, I could just as well. Storm is 5 after I play this diamond, 6 after the second one. He's at, um, I need Storm 10, and so uh, diamond makes 6, ideas and bound makes 7. I could have played this a little more better, that's right. Um, I could have tucked the Burning Wish 1 down and drawn with top, which would have given me another Lotus Petal, but I don't think it matters. That would have been like if you were like more than 20. But I'm going to use my Ideas Inbound here for Cantrip instead of the top because I want that extra storm count. And I know I do have the petal, so here it is, breaking for black and red so I could cast Burning Wish Tendrils. I knew I had the therapy there, or the petal there, so luckily I drew into a duress, which means I did have a critical massive storm. I was just going to draw here for top for some extra stuff, and then go ahead and kill him. So pretty lucky series of draws there, and an unfortunate series for him, but that was game 1. As far as sideboarding plan goes, we definitely want Xanon Swarm. I don't remember if I brought in Infernal Contract. You do also want to bring in, like, keep in maybe a decay or 2. It serves a double purpose. If they see their Null Rod, then you get to grab that. If you don't, then at least you can, maybe just kill a Delver and buy you some time. So that's more or less the game plan. Awful hand, ship it away. It's got all the combo pieces, but, well, not all the combo pieces, but rather we have plenty of mana, but nothing to do with it. Ship it back. Now we mull to 5, see the probe therapy kind of duo, and another therapy on top. I don't remember if I keep this. I am on the draw. I put it on the bottom because I think looking for lands is really important in this matchup. So having a draw step and a probe would bring us to a good place. Ponder means that we're not facing a Delver right off the bat, which is always good. Gives us a few extra turns, a few extra draws. But despite our scrying decision, we see another therapy. We're just going to go ahead and probe him, see that he has a ton of crap. I think I was really I wasn't really sure what to do here, because regardless of what was going to happen, I was going to get my Underground Sea wasted. And if I draw a fetch land, there's Stifle to worry about. I think I go for the Force of Will here, just to, get those out of his hand. And it also ensures that, like, if I do get a chance of casting another therapy, I get to get a Stifle. But, this hand's pretty stacked against mine. Not much I can do. I take his Force of Will. Oh, I do draw land off of the probe, which really sucks because it's a fetch land, and I think at this point we still, maybe it was wrong, but in hindsight it could have been wrong, but alas, here we are. Afraid to do anything because he has a Stifle and he draws a threat, and now we're in trouble. He flips a Daze, which is just all that much worse because he could Stifle my land, he could Daze my next card. Now he's got 4 power, which means 4 turns. I don't find any mana, so we're just gonna, draw the Brainstorm and see what happens. Takes my therapy here, probably to protect his Stifle. But, it's kind of a weird play, in my opinion, because, if I didn't have a land, if I did have a land, I would probably want to put it on top. But anyway. Yeah, out of desperation, I just kind of do some stuff. It's just looking real bad because even if I want to cast this Brainstorm, he's got the days, getting hit for a lot of damage. And at this point, there's just no way I could get out. The next 3 cards are not doing anything for me, and there's just no way I could assemble enough cards to beat his hand, so I concede. Alright, we open up with 2 lands, both of which can cast the Decay, so that's always nice. 2 tops, which is kind of weird. Against like a Daze deck, it's almost fine to have top on, just like go ahead and slam the turn 1 top and have them daze it or something, because you have the second one, but I don't think we could really complain, so we definitely keep it. We're going to lead with the Trop because we don't want, like, despite having the Decay, we don't really want our Black Source to be wasted if he does have it, so we're just going to go ahead and cast top, see what he does. Alright, Deathrite Shaman. Xanet Storm, which is a great draw. I go ahead and play land 2, play around days, and then cast it, and it resolves, so we're in business. We get to do a lot from here. Does not find a land. He does shuffle, and he doesn't find anything, so... and I'm surprised he doesn't attack, you know, like, if he's passing turn, he can't cast anything. So, it doesn't matter. It's, you know, like, I'm going to go ahead and spin the top here, see what I see. Alright, so, the inclination is to take the Dark Ritual, because you want it for a combo turn. But, at this point, seeing that he is light on lands, and probably, depending on his Deathrite Shaman for mana, my plan was to draw the swamp, so I could decay his guy and then leave a mana up for either Brainstorm or spinning the top, probably the top, but we're going to put the swamp on top. And I do hesitate a little bit. I want to make sure I attack, because I think I probe him at this point. Oh yeah, I do probe him at this point just to kind of see what's going on and to see if it's worth decaying this Deathrite Shaman. So we're going to go ahead and probe here. Seeing a ton of counter magic, a Mongoose, Thoughtseize, and a Brainstorm. So we definitely have the go to decay his Deathrite Shaman, and sure enough, that's what we do. He Thoughtseize is here. I mean, I'm not going to Brainstorm in response because one's going to get taken anyway. If he takes the top, that's just bad for him. So we're just going to let this Thoughtseize rock and go about our business. Spin the top and see what we see. Okay, so I'm not quite sure why I put the Dark Ritual first. Oh, oops. Oh, I probably pressed something down there. Okay, so I think I want to keep the therapy here so I could get rid of his Brainstorm, because that kind of, you know, it gets him out of this situation. If he plays a Mongoose, that really doesn't do much. So I do want a therapy for his Brainstorm, and, you know, make sure I attack first. Oh, in fact, I Brainstorm. Let me see. Okay, so... you know, a lot of mana. At this point, I don't need an LED because I have enough lands to do what I need to do post-pile. So I think I definitely put back top and Volcanic Island because I do want to shuffle off the Delta. So my hand is Therapy, Dark Ritual, Delta. And we're going to take his Brainstorm. Spin the top, see what's going on. See nothing. And then we're going to fetch again, just so, you know, his Stifle isn't really live. And look at that. We see a Doomsday. And so we're primed to win. We just need to make sure a Wasteland kind of stops this from happening just by one turn. So we're just going to put the Doomsday on top and hope that not much happens the next turn. He ponders. If I do believe he finds a land, and he's going to go ahead and deploy his threat because he can't do anything else. So this is important because he goes to 16. I don't having Dark Ritual Doomsday it kind of ties up your storm count, but I don't think it matters. Okay, then we're just going to make sure we attack, get the trigger, and go to town. It's your standard tendrils pile. And that is round 3.